Hello, everyone, and thank you for attending the Revive Staffing Solutions virtual job fair event. I would like to introduce you to Ross. Ross will tell you about their company, job openings, and how to apply for those openings. Ross?
Thanks, Dan. Hello, everyone. Thanks for attending. Hopefully, this will be impactful and I'll be able to provide some good information for you, and I can help you on your next career path. Genuinely care and just want to do a good job for you guys. So, quick, intro. My name's Ross Fellner. I'm an account manager for my recruiting firm, Revive Staffing Solutions. Also, it's the daughter company of Agisha Global Solutions, and we provide employment globally. We provide flexible workforce and solution services that leading organizations need to accomplish their global business initiatives. A lot of Fortune 500 companies, but also SMEs, small mid-sized enterprises. We like to provide a hands-on white kid glove approach, service. We find that that's the best way to develop trust between us and you guys. It's just very important to us. Fortune 500 clients across the U.S., we create an atmosphere of growth and opportunity where all employees can really reach their potential, no matter what industry they're in. Today we're here to still continue and talk about, the Revive side of the business, and that's more of like the skilled labor, manufacturing, light industrial aspect. So basically, if you're looking for a career change and you'd be interested in other professional roles like IT professional and such, project management, administrative roles, customer service, etc. Don't go anywhere. I can still answer those questions down the road for you and help you make a sound decision. So we're also part of, like I said, a sister company, Agisha Global Solutions, and love to discuss your career goals and the potential opportunities that we can get you closer to accomplishing those goals. So basically, in Illinois, let's talk about the skilled labor and the warehouse and the light industrial positions, right? So that's like forklift, machine operating, CNC machine operation, line operation, in various industries. Assembly, material handling, training is provided. The skilled labor and the leadership, positions. We have Antioch, Wheeling, Elgin. Those are the hot areas right now. There's a machine mechanic position. It's a maintenance tech position where some training is provided, and we're looking for people that have a little bit of that background that can speak to your mechanical aptitude, like your desire to if you like to tinker with things. If you have experience in an industrial setting, maybe doing some light maintenance. If you were a machine operator and you had to stop the machine and you had to get some material that was stuck out of there, and you like kind of like conversating and kind of helping out the main maintenance tech guy, then this position might be something for you because it teaches you how to become an expert maintenance tech. And there's a lot of growth opportunities with this one particular client that we have that wants people who want to find their next home. Have some experience around these machines. Are you the type of guy who goes home, who always, maybe as a kid, you like to take apart the ceiling fan and see if you can put it back together, take apart the remote, someone who likes to work on their car. That's someone who's got a mechanical aptitude. Then there's a die setter position, some trainings provided, all with the same client, some mechanical aptitude, maybe an experience setting up a machine, making an adjustment on a machine, possibly a machine shop background, experience with complex dies, foil dies, even thermoforming is a plus. So that's something like that. Although these two positions are, are marketed as really as entry-level positions, there are opportunities for those of you who may be coming from a background of several years in these particular positions. We know that, these are valuable skills, and we'd love to discuss bringing you to the team at a more advanced level with respect to your experience and goals. So there is a jumping off point on what we're initially looking for, but there's always a level of interest on different types of skill level you have, right? If maybe you have something that's got a transferable skill, and that's why we say mechanical aptitude. These are positions that are very, and they're not only that there's a great need for that right now, but over the last couple of years, I've seen these positions become more at the forefront of the I guess you'd say skilled labor manufacturing, and really companies investing time and money into these type of positions. So there's real growth opportunities for these type of roles. Just food for thought, okay? So basically, like you said, just to continue, there are opportunities for those who may be coming from a background of several years, and so forth. Okay, and then we have a production team lead position, someone that's been in a position where they're able to, lead or train and develop others in a production setting. Doesn't necessarily have to be, but experience providing leadership in the food industry or consumer product sector it's a huge plus, but it's not necessary. It's more about having that leadership quality and leading a team and motivating them and keeping them with a positive attitude, being in that environment. That's huge. You'd be responsible for overseeing about 10 to 15 people in a fast-paced, high volume, manufacturing environment. If you're bilingual in English and Spanish, it's highly beneficial. It's not necessary. Then there's more positions in Elgin where, if you have a job, but you'd like some, additional income, then I have something where you can put you in a part-time role, 4 hours a day, whether it's, in the morning or afternoon, just another way to, add more income to save, whether it be for things that you're looking, there's bills to be paid or things that, you're looking forward to, if there's vacations, if there's, anything that you think that could help by adding a part-time position. Ask me about it. I'd love to explain. I know these descriptions were a little bit brief, but just wanted to, give you a chance to let you know a little bit about us, how we operate, what we do from this aspect, from this angle. And if anything we mentioned sounds like an opportunity you'd like to learn more about, or even if you know someone that would be interested, give us a call or we can talk more in depth. We do offer, bonuses for referrals. I know at the end of the day, it's about helping other people find a job. But we do have that, form of appreciation by offering a finder for these positions. So that's just a little bit of what we do. And I'd love to share more about like how we operate, and how we may be different than your other experiences. And I think, Daniel, that's my little summary.
Excellent. Thank you, Ross. At this time, if anyone has questions for Ross, you can go ahead and enter those into the chat section, and we will get those answered as soon as possible. All right, Ross, at this time, it doesn't look like anyone has any questions, so I'll just go ahead and ask just a few generalized questions to give the folks watching a little bit more information about your company and the positions that you're hiring for.
Okay.
Can you elaborate a little bit on how long your hiring process typically takes from submitting an application to being hired?
Oh man, I mean, there is these positions. It could there is such a variance, a dichotomy. There's positions where I could get things approved within like 24 hours after onboarding. Um, there's some positions that.
This got to be up for the first.
Oh, can you mute yourself?
Also went on this date with this.
Nice, thank you. It could, there's positions where it could take just, maybe 48 hours. And there's some positions that may take a week. So it all depends. But even having said that, you know, um, from 24 hours to 48 hours, that's not long at all. Our onboarding process is, electronically through our secure platform. And when you complete your onboarding, it immediately emails you back a copy of what you filled in, so you have a copy of what you have. We take security very seriously, so we go through secure portals. So hopefully that answers the question.
Excellent. Thank you, Ross. Kind of piggybacking off that question, does your organization go ahead and does it conduct background checks? And if it does, can you kind of elaborate on that process for people that are listening?
Yeah, it does. It does conduct backgrounds and it goes back, minimum 7 years, but so every job has it. Yes.
Excellent. Thank you. And can you elaborate a little bit more on what the expected work attire is?
Okay, well, if you're in a manufacturing environment, it's, casual. Jeans, no shorts. A lot of the positions require either steel toe shoes or steel toe boots, just as long as it has to be steel toes. And I've found resources that are very inexpensive. So for anyone who's tight on cash, I get it. We're asking you to spend money before you get the position, but it's mandatory. So I really try hard to alleviate the pressure as much as possible by providing some inexpensive resources where you can obtain that. And then everything else, they provide all the PPE. So other than that, yeah, it's casual.
Excellent. And you actually just mentioned another question that I was going to ask you. Can you elaborate a little bit more on how these various workplaces that you're hiring for are handling COVID-19 precautions?
Oh, absolutely. You walk in, get a temperature check. You have to go through the CDC approved COVID questionnaire. They've separated stations as best as possible to be 6 feet apart. They've rearranged orientation groups to be no more than, speaking figuratively, this one place, 6 people that way, because instead of 10 people in a room, it's 6, that way they're spread out. If anyone's feeling ill, they encourage to go home and get checked out. Job is there for you. Just take, the necessary precautions on getting tested and getting, and so forth. So I'm happy to be surrounded with companies that actually take those measures, and it makes people feel comfortable knowing that as well.
Thank you, Ross. Can you elaborate on restrictions that some of these employers might have for tattoos, hair color, or piercings?
I mean, if there's anything in a food environment type of a situation, you got to have more fitted clothing, and any piercings or anything like that, they're not going to be able to accommodate, because again, it's a food environment. It's very strict. If there's beards and whatnot, they'll put like a hairnet over the beard or what have you. So if that's a food environment, yes. Mainly like it's you can't go into the workplace. You know how T-shirts have these different sayings now. Well, they can't be derogatory or negative. That would be offensive. Okay. Other than that, they're fine with it.
Excellent. Thank you. And can an applicant expect to be paid for the time that they're being trained?
Absolutely. Yes.
Excellent. And can you elaborate a little bit more on, some of the benefits that might be offered to a prospective applicant?
Depending on the company, yes, a lot of our partnerships are with companies where there's a very short-term contract. There's no benefits while you're on contract with us. When you get transitioned and you're getting hired on, then you're availed to those really nice, robust, benefit packages that include, ancillary benefits and such. So that's what's offered.
Excellent. And do you have any sort of educational requirements, high school or GED diploma, for instance?
Some of the jobs, there are none. And then, other than that, some of these other jobs, it's either, high school degree, GED, or equivalent GED. So if you could, some of the positions you don't need any. And majority of the positions, it's high school degree or GED equivalent.
Excellent. And how often are new jobs posted with your organization?
Oof. I mean, we got new jobs as of right now, it's daily. We're very busy.
Excellent. And just for the potential applicants that are out there listening, can you kind of provide a little bit of advice or insight on how a candidate might be able to stand out and get an interview, assuming that they're qualified?
Express your interest. Don't wait to get contacted. Apply, follow up, and share your genuine interest as to why are you, what you're looking for, why you're looking, and provide some, maybe goals. Employers like to hear that. It shows that you want to work and you want the position. A lot of times, for me, that's what it comes down to, is someone who's, showing the desire. Those are characteristics you can't teach. That's my advice.
Excellent. Thank you, Ross. And
Yeah.
would you be able to kind of elaborate on, in particular, what kind of shifts you guys are, seeking to hire for, but also just more of a generalized thing? Can you kind of elaborate on what a typical shift tends to be with the organizations that you're hiring for? When does a night shift typically start, or a day shift, for instance?
Sure, that's a good question. So, basically a day shift, first shift is like a 6 a.m. start, and it can, go to 2. Then, a day shift can be from like 3 p.m. to 11. And then a night shift can be like 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And all of these include breaks and a short lunch. And then there's part-time, which you don't see all the time right now. You can, work where you work every day, and you choose your 4-hour block of time that you want to work. So for instance, if it's, 5 p.m. to 9, Monday through Friday, that could be a part-time, or it could be 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. You could be, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. So, this one client is allowing those part-time hours to be a little bit flexible. You just have to work Monday through Friday.
Excellent. Thank you, Ross. Can you kind of elaborate on, and I know you briefly touched upon it, but maybe just go a little bit more in depth on what type of opportunities for advancement an applicant might be able to see working for your organization, or you could even, kind of go into any sort of success stories that maybe you've dealt with personally.
Okay, great. So, you know, there's been, positions where they've gone in at a, just someone who's there to help in the department. These are two instances. And through communicating with me and our team, every week to get an update on how they're doing, give them some advice on how to grow in that department. Just simple things like, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Manager, how else can I help? Those things go a long way. Showing the effort, um, and sticking it out, sticking around, um, and then these two other opportunities where these situations where it just got to the point where they were able to hone in on their craft for that said department. That one of them was able to, both of them were able to get raises, within a very short period of time. Um, you know, um, they were able to learn something that they never learned before, and then become somewhat experts for that. And a lot of other times, when people, you know, they're around and they learn a craft, and then they circle back with us. We circle back with them to reassess, what they've learned over a 6-month period of time. We can reassess and then, see what else is out there in the marketplace to see if we can take that and leverage that experience to something, that they would see as a little bit better to advance their career. Um, those are very rewarding for us and for the candidate because they put in the work. We've communicated and stayed in touch with them, and serviced them and helped them out by giving them advice, and then relaying feedback back to management. And it's also a way of keeping their name on the manager's radar. And those are the times that that we're able to propel them into promotions, or take that experience that they've learned and maybe put them up for another position for the experience they've gained. So those are success stories for us.
Excellent. Thank you, Ross. And I just want to reiterate, if anyone has any questions for Ross, you can go ahead and enter those into the chat section, and we will go ahead and get those answered for you. In that chat section, I have also posted Ross's contact information, more specifically his email. And I've also included a link to the employer booth, which you should see being shared on your screen currently. On that employer booth link, you should be able to have access to not only the employer website, but also where the employer job postings are available. And again, also Ross's contact information to be able to follow up with him directly. So just want to make sure that everyone knows that. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Do I verbally answer that?
Oh, no worries, Ross. No, we actually have a question for you. The individual asked, does your agency offer IT jobs?
Yes, various positions. If you would like to contact us after this session, we'd be more than happy to see if we can help you.
Excellent. And I actually have a question kind of piggybacking off that as well, Ross.
Sure.
Do you guys offer any sort of opportunities for remote work currently?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of the clients that we work with are offering, they're, it's offering, remote until it's either remote strictly or remote until, office reopens. That's what we're seeing right now.
Excellent. Thank you. And again, if anyone has any questions for Ross, please feel free to reach or to include those, into the chat section, and we will get those questions answered for you. And Ross, in the meantime, is there any other summary information or anything like that that you would like to include in today's presentation before we kind of start to wrap things up?
I don't have anything else to add. I just encourage people to, don't be afraid, ask questions. We're here to help, and we want to put you in the best position possible for your next career opportunity. We won't, this may sound cheesy, we don't grow unless you grow. So it's a team effort.
Excellent. Thank you, Ross. With that, I just want to thank everyone again for attending this virtual job fair. You can find their employer booth on the Illinois WorkNet virtual job fair page at the link, again, that is provided in the chat section. A recording of this webinar will also be posted on that employer booth later today, in addition to the Illinois WorkNet YouTube channel. So with that, I'd just like to thank everyone for attending today, and I hope you all have a good afternoon. Thank you, Ross.
Thanks, everyone.